So, hi, Katie here. Today I'd like to talk about a subject that's come up in the news the other day. J K Rowling, or J K Rowling, is it J K Rowling? I don't know, but I call her J K Rowling, maybe because I'm from Wales. But she has caused a lot of upset, particularly amongst her fans, or a lot of them will be her former fans now, by tweeting support for a transphobic extremist who claims to have been fired from her job for expressing the opinion that she doesn't believe that trans women are women on Twitter. Um, and the woman's name is Maya Forstater. She basically it all started when there was a case back in March 2019 um, that there was an employment tribunal, and Maya Forstater is a what she identifies as a gender critical feminist. We call them TERFs, a lot of us, not all of us, but we popularly they're known as TERFs, trans exclusionary radical feminists. And Maya Forstater claims that she was working for an organization called the Center for Global Development, and she she is a tax expert, so she was working for them and producing kind of academic papers and reports, and she's written articles and books as well. So, okay, so very educated, intelligent woman, but she doesn't like trans people. She doesn't particularly, in particular, she doesn't like transgender females, which is a pity. But that's her opinion, and no way, I would not agree with somebody being sacked because they have an opinion, even if it's an opinion that kind of holds that I'm not a woman and that I'm a man. I mean, I find that awful, as a trans woman, I consider myself to be a woman, and I consider all trans women to be female, not unless they identify otherwise. Um, but yeah, but if it had been a case of her bosses looking at her activity on Twitter and her being turning up at women's place meetings and giving speeches and sacking her, then I would have a problem with that. I would say, yeah, she has a case to take them to court, but she took them to court, and I think they actually claimed that they turned around and they said, well, no, we didn't. The reason that we didn't renew your contract, because they didn't renew a contract. They said it was because she it wasn't anything to do with her opinions about trans people and trans issues. So and the tribunal held in her employer's favour. Um, but what I think has happened is that transphobic individuals, and unfortunately Maya herself as well, and transphobic groups and individuals, TERFs, if you will, and also outright people who don't like trans people, and our transphobic UK press, which is sensationalist and, is always on the lookout for stories that they think they can twist into making it look as if there's actually some kind of transgender agenda, is what they're trying to, is a narrative they're trying to push. They're saying that Maya Forstater was sacked because she expressed an opinion. She expressed the opinion that trans women aren't women. But the employers and the employment tribunal ruled in the employer's favour when they claimed that they just didn't renew a contract, because that's how it goes these days. Unfortunately, there isn't a job for life anymore, or you can't expect one, and lots of jobs are short-term contracts. So, but Maya is trying to say that trans people are to blame for her for her. I'm getting off the camera frame here, but yeah, Maya is trying to say that trans people are to blame for her. Oh God, I should go the other way. For her being sacked, you know, but we're not. You know, I mean, I don't. I mean, what it is, they're trying to push the narrative that people can't, there isn't freedom of speech, and trans activists are anti-freedom of speech, and we're not. We just want equal rights for trans people, that, you know, and cis people. We just want everyone to have equal rights. So yeah. So then J K Rowling comes in and tweets kind of to defend her, because she says something along the lines of oh, you know, she's saying the truth. You know, it's sex is real. In other words, trans women aren't women. She says something like, I don't have the tweet in front of me, although I will post a screen cap of it on here. She says that dress however you like. She said something like, it was really insulting as well. I don't know if she meant it that way, but she said, sleep with whoever'll have you, as if to say, well, who would really want a trans person as a partner anyway, which is really, really kind of nasty, I think, but I don't know whether she meant that or not. And she said, she more or less kind of said that, you know, she's made a distinction between sort of women and trans women, but she's kind of like othering trans women and saying that we're really men, in effect. That's what I get from that quote. I don't have it right in front of me. And I think that's a real pity, really. I mean, it hasn't really upset me, and I knew that J K Rowling had kind of sort of transphobic sympathies, because she's put tweets up before supporting extremist organisations, which you know, kind of are obsessed with trans people, in particular trans women and girls. But I do feel sorry for those people who, you know, who are big fans of J K Rowling, and there seems to be a lot in the trans community, and they were maybe brought up with Harry Potter books, and they just feel really, really betrayed now, and really sort of sad and upset that another of their heroes, who was formerly, you know, who was J K Rowling, is now turned against them. So that's really sad, I think. I haven't read any of the Harry Potter books. I've never seen any of the films. I've never been tempted by any of the merchandise. It's not because I have an aversion to Harry Potter or because J K Rowling's a TERF. It's just that it never really grabbed me. Although I do like owls, says she, wearing a dress with foxes on it, but I don't really can see them. But but yeah, so that's kind of disappointing, I think. And also another thing as well, you know, J.K. Rowling and all these kind of celebs who speak up, like fucking, pardon my French, like Mr. Turfalot, Sir Turfalot, Graham Linehan. Where were they when trans people were being fired from their job for being trans, or transgender children weren't allowed to, you know, like a trans girl was forced to go in, you know, dressed as a school boy when she was at school, or a trans girl or a trans boy was forced to dress as a school boy. I mean, I actually talked to somebody the other night, a trans man, who was forced to wear basically like a pinafore at school, and this is in this day and age, a pinafore kind of frilly pinafore style dress and like pink blouse and all that, and the boys' uniform was totally different, and he didn't, you know, from early age, he would just kind of like throw, you know, take off this kind of dress. He obviously wouldn't want to wear it, you know, but he was forced to wear it, and I just think that's awful. But where were people like J K Rowling when you know, people like my friend were having that done to them as children? And when because I have actually lost my job through being trans in the past. I've actually been sacked from a job for telling the HR that I wanted to wear a skirt to work, and I was even told by the HR manager was male, and he said to me, he was a cisgender male. He said, I'll be watching you to see if you're wearing any makeup, you know. So I mean, didn't he have anything better to do with his time? But where were people like J K Rowling when we you know, we were going through that? They didn't seem to care then. But all of a sudden, when a transphobe was even suspected of having lost their job because of their so-called gender critical beliefs, um, all of these celebrities suddenly come out of the woodwork and are outraged, you know. And yet, for all those years, they were never, you know, supporting us or anything, or speaking out for our rights. So yeah, so I just don't buy that, you know. I mean, I just don't buy. I think it's just blatant transphobia, to be honest. And so yeah, that's all I wanted to say really. And oh, and I've also got some good news, which I'm going to tag on to the end of this. So it's nothing to do with the title of what this video is about in the you know, in the description below. I had my second appointment at the gender identity clinic in Cardiff on Wednesday, and I'm really pleased to say that it was an appointment with the endocrinologist, and the endocrinologist will ask my GP to prescribe me estrogen, so I actually won't have to pay now for my estrogel, which is good. Still going to be having gel, but it's going to be another brand name, not estrogel itself. So it's going to be something like Sandrina or something. I know a few other people who are on it, and they say it's really effective. So and the endo also wants me to scale down my estrogen dose because it kind of rocketed quite dramatically. It actually went from, as I said in a previous video, it actually went from 117 or 116 to 720 within the space of a couple of months. So they want to get me down to 600, and that'll be like a stable kind of hormonal estrogen level for me to have. Of course, my testosterone is now 0.3, and it's going to remain like that for as long as I take Zoladex, which will obviously, in my case, probably be for the rest of my life. So yeah, so that's good news. And like, if I transition, if the estrogen takes effect too quickly, then apparently it affects breast development. So I could end up possibly with conical shaped breasts, a bit like, or that's that old Madonna video where she's got conical shaped breasts. But, you know, so obviously I just want as natural a development as possible, really, you know. So yeah, so that's good news. So I guess I should end this video here because it's been quite long and it'll be a nightmare to upload it. So because it'll take ages. So I haven't quite worked out how to upload things to YouTube. So cheerio, folks, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Eid, whoever's kind of, you know, just have a really good time. You know, happy holidays to everyone, and thank you to all the people who subscribe to my channel. I have 47 subscribers now, and I really, I'm really thankful for that, because this isn't like a big channel or anything. This is just basically me like messing around on YouTube. So yeah, so I appreciate that. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the comments. And please feel free to ask me any questions that you like, about even about the clinic, about just pop a question below or something, or about, even if you disagree, if you disagree with me on this issue of J K Rowling and Maya Forstater, please pop, pop a question, pop a comment below telling me why you disagree, or pop, like, if you agree with me, alternatively tell me why you agree, and if you can add anything to my video, I'll be very grateful, because that's the only way really that I'm gonna learn about things, if people share their experiences with me. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and like, cheerio, and happy holidays everyone, Merry Christmas, cheerio, bye.